What is up, Texas hockey fans? This is Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Stone Strankman. We're rocking a solo podcast today. Last night, Tuesday night, Stars played the Wild at home at AAC for preseason game number 2. Went to overtime. Stars won. Not a big deal. They had a lot of major players playing in that game last night. There were some goals. There were some difficulties. There were some penalties. Saw a lot last night, so let's get into it. Shout out to our sponsor, Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang over here at Apollo Media. You should too. Go get some Blazing Bloody Mary mix, the regular Bloody Mary mix, Michelada mix, Margarita mix, all the things with Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. So last night, Tuesday, interesting game to start. First period was a little rough. A few penalties there. A goal against on Jake Ottinger. Jake Ottinger played the entire game, but before we get into that, there was a lot of big names that played in this one. A lot of major players. Jake Ottinger, Mikko Rantanen, Roope Hintz, Jamie Benn, Matt Duchene, Miro Heiskanen, Thomas Harley, Esa Lindell, Tyler Seguin, Jason Robertson. I had a lot of dudes playing in this game. The Wild had no dudes playing in this game. They played their backup goaltender, Cal Peterson. They didn't have any forwards or defensive players that are probably going to make the NHL roster in any way, shape, or form. Looking at the board during morning skate of what the Wild had on their roster was interesting because we had a lot of major players playing. The Wild didn't bring any major players. So it was kind of like an expected win to come in and just be able to dominate and all that kind of stuff. It really wasn't the case there. The Stars had to battle back in the third period. It was an interesting thing. Stars ended up winning 3-2 in overtime on a Tyler Seguin goal. Miro Heiskanen did all the work getting through there. That's what Tyler Seguin said in the press conference afterwards in the locker room, is that Miro did all the work, and he was saying, shoot it. I don't want the puck. I don't want the puck. It was a little cross crease action, wide open net. Tyler Seguin taps it in a minute 58, I believe, into the overtime period, and Stars walk out with the win. Bing Bong is back. Got the Bing Bong shirt on that we used to sell on Apollo Media, but Bing Bong is back. I don't want to talk about Bing Bong. I don't like Bing Bong. Bing Bong is not Dallas. I know the Dallas Stars have been playing it. It's a New York thing. We need to let it go. It's over. We need to find a new goal horn or new goal sound. I'm kind of over the Bing Bong, but I digress. Stars win 3-2 in overtime, back-to-back overtime games in the preseason. Overtime should be banned in the preseason. What are we doing? Just let it go to a tie. It doesn't matter. It's preseason. We don't need to see the extra 5 minutes or the shootout. I'm good. It was fine. But it was fun to see 3-on-3. I just wanted to get home last night. It wasn't like the most fun game, but I had 3 major standouts from preseason game number 2. The first one being Mikko Rantanen. He's absolutely disgusting. I mean, the guy's incredible. Like, we saw it last year in the playoffs. We saw how good he could be, how well he could take over a game. He was doing that last night. He just wasn't able to finish a lot of the things. Get it? But in the press conference after the game, Glenn Gulleton, head coach, said that did a lot of really good things. They're snapping around the puck. They're getting in good spots. They just weren't finishing. There was just no finish yesterday. So that was a little bit not discouraging, but frustrating in a preseason game against a backup goaltender against a bunch of AHL and WHL guys that aren't going to make the roster for the NHL for the Minnesota Wild, who you're going to be facing in your home opener. Game 3 of the actual NHL regular season, so that'll be interesting. But Mikko had probably 5 quality scoring chances where it's high danger. I mean, he had a 1T from the right side where I've been clamoring for that. I want that at least 2-3 times a game. I think he had 2 last night from the right side. The one was pretty early. He had a few where he's streaking down the ice with another player, kind of 1-on-2, and the pass just didn't quite get to him, or the pass did get to him, but it wasn't in prime position for him to snap it into the net. He had just ample chances to score. He ended up scoring in the third period on a just disgusting wrister that we saw kind of last year. Jason Robertson snapped it over from cross ice. Incredible pass from Jason Robertson, but Mikko Rantanen, he takes that wrister a lot like that Colorado one during the comeback in Game 7, that wrister where he just kind of crossed the ice a little bit. He didn't go that far, but probably the same distance, sniped it top left. Mikko Rantanen is going to be an absolute problem for teams this season. Obviously, he was last year in the playoffs. He wasn't as consistent. We didn't have the full chemistry built and all that kind of stuff with the Stars. He was only there for about 20 games before the postseason started, and we got to see glimpses of what Mikko Rantanen could do. I think this year you're looking at 100+ points. You're looking at close to 50 goals this year. Like, he's the number one guy on this team. And what Mike Heika and DLS and Sam Nessler and all these guys are saying is that Mikko Rantanen doesn't act like a Finn. He's not cliquey. He's in the locker room. He's always there, hanging out with other guys. He's working out. He's training. He's earning his paycheck, his $12 million AAV. He's earning that. I think we're going to see a lot of that this year with a 100+ point season. I think it's going to be a lot of fun with that guy, especially on that top line with Robo and Rupe. Like, they work so well together. They do a lot of things differently from each other, but they all kind of come together and are able to do a lot of really, really good things. But Mikko had 5 quality scoring chances, but he also had probably 3 or 4 incredibly snappy passes that set up the other guy to have a quality high danger scoring chance. And man, he was a lot of fun to watch. He wasn't my favorite player to watch last night, though. My favorite player to watch, number 2, major standout, was Jason Robertson. He wasn't healthy last year. Let's just get this out of the way. He was hurt in training camp. He pushed himself a little too hard to get back for the regular season. Had a tough start to the regular season. The first 2.5 months, he just wasn't the Jason Robertson that we know and love. And what I saw last night is probably the best version of what I've seen out of Jason Robertson in person. So it's my second year covering the Stars in person. I've seen a few games before that in person with Jason Robertson, but that's the best he's looked in person for me in any game. The puck possession, heading into the zone, getting into the zone with the entries. He was able to kind of not deke guys out, but hold on to the puck and squeak through 2-3 defenders and hold on to the puck and either set up a quality scoring chance or have a quality scoring chance himself. He had a breakaway at one point. He had just a number of chances that didn't go in, and he was so frustrated about it. But in the third period, he ends up getting a puck right by the goalie, kind of flips it up. It didn't flip up at all. It got stuck in between the pad and the goalie's skate, and it got knocked loose. He knocks the puck in, a little greasy, dirty goal, but it still counts nonetheless. He started laughing about it because he was frustrated that he didn't score the other quality chances, like that one right before the puck goes in, the breakaway, and he had another wrister, I think, that he thinks that should have went in. He was saying that post-game in the locker room that he was laughing because he was mad. He was frustrated that the other goals didn't go in while he's looking at the iPad. iPad time's at an all-time high already. It's preseason. He's showing Tyler Seguin stuff on the iPad. He's showing everybody. He's like, hey, look, I got an iPad. Not a big deal. iPad. iPad time's at an all-time high for Jason Robertson. But the thing that stood out with me with Robo was the ability to keep the puck on his stick through major defenders, through deking and getting through, squeaking through, and all that kind of stuff. But the other thing was the passing. The pass from Robo to Mikko Rantanen on Mikko's goal was crispy, and he did that 6, 7, 8 times last night. I mean, he had so many incredible setups, and it's something that we saw a little bit of last year. We've seen it in the past, but Rupe Hintz said in the spring during the playoff run is that Robo has probably the most underrated passing ability on the team. He's incredibly insightful of where to throw the puck to the correct offensive player to get it into the zone, to get it in the right part of the offensive zone. Like, his vision is so underrated. His passing is so underrated that I think you're going to see another 100-point season from Jason Robertson. If he's healthy, like it looks like he is, he says he feels good. He had a frustrating injury at game 82, missed the first round of the playoffs. He came back against Winnipeg, and he just wasn't himself really until that last game against the Edmonton Oilers in game 5 of the playoffs. And I think we've got fully healthy Robo for the first time since 2023, 2024, maybe at the beginning, or 2023, probably at the beginning of the season. If he stays healthy, like he normally does, he plays like 80 plus 82 games a year. He's going to score a lot of points, especially playing with Mikko and Rupe. Like, Rupe Hintz is incredible on his own, but you add Mikko Rantanen on the other side, they're going to snap the puck around. They're going to do kind of whatever they want on the power play, kind of whatever they want on the offensive zone once they get in. I thought the entries were really good with Jason Robertson and Mikko Rantanen. That was a lot of fun from Jason Robertson. He was incredible. The ability to get the puck in the right section for the offensive zone and have all those scoring chances set up by him, but also have the setups from Mikko or Rupe and get the same quality, high danger scoring chances. Robo looked the best I've ever seen him in person. Incredible. Third major standout from preseason game number 2, too many penalties. Too many penalties. They think they had 11 giveaways last night, the Dallas Stars, and it's not really what you want to see, but it's preseason. You don't have your full roster out there. You don't have your full lines out there. Like Jamie Benn, Matthew Shane, and Tyler Seguin were on a line. Mikko, Rupe, and Robo were on a line. And then the rest of it was kind of AHL guys that aren't going to play. But then like Cole Lind is on power play 1 with Mikko and Robo and Rupe. So you didn't have your full stuff out there, and it was a little different, but too many penalties. Like Tyler Seguin took one, just kind of they got on the boards. They're fighting for the puck. The Wild ended up getting it. Tyler kind of turns around, slaps his stick. It's a tripping penalty. Nils Lundqvist, I thought looked pretty good last night. Goalie said the same thing in his press conference. He liked what he saw out of Nils Lundqvist. He had a penalty where there's a guy rushing. There's a defender behind him. I believe it's Thomas Harley, kind of trying to cut him off, and Nils Lundqvist ends up cutting him off completely. Gets tripped up a little bit, hits his stick on the guy's skate. His skate hits the other skate, and then all of a sudden the guy's tripped. It's another penalty. The Wild only had one power play goal, so that was fine. Like PK was still good, but too many penalties. I think 11 minutes, but it's really 6 minutes because there was a fight. Cole Lind got in a fight. I don't know what happened there. It just kind of came out of nowhere. It was right off of the face-off, basically. I kind of was finishing a tweet or looking at something on my computer. I look up, and all of a sudden they're fighting. Looked at the replay. Don't know why they fought. Thought it was fun. Cole Lind was then pumping up the crowd. Light crowd. It's preseason, but light crowd, and he's pumping up the crowd. They all start cheering for him. He got dominated in that fight, but fought nonetheless. But too many penalties. There was 3 penalties that I feel like you could have avoided just by letting the guy go and trusting the rest of your defense or the offense to figure it out for you guys. Like, thought there was a little bit of that. But too many penalties. I think they'll fix that up. They're going to have their full roster. It's going to be a little bit more responsible. You're not going to see that as much. But that's what that kind of stood out to me. The other things that stood out, aside from the 3 major standouts, was hitting. Everyone was hitting on the team. Gallatin wanted that in his introductory press conference. He said that the Stars are going to be a physical team this year. They're going to have a lot of fun hitting people. They're going to do it from game 1, not game 82 or game 83. Thought most people were hitting, aside from like Mikko and Robo and Rupe and just the main guys. They weren't like going out and seeking hits, but Tyler Seguin was throwing a few. Jamie Benn obviously kind of has free reign now to go hit people, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. He laid a couple of big ones. Even Essa was throwing some hits. Nils Lundqvist was going for hits. Thomas Harley. Like, you saw a lot of good stuff. The AHL and WHL guys, they were all hitting. They were going after people. They had a lot of fun with that, but they were more physical. They had more hits than the Wild in game 2 of the preseason, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun to watch, is see the physicality of this team and see how much more physical they are with teams and how much more they're going for the hit or finishing a hit as opposed to just bumping a guy lightly. They're going to try to go hit somebody. Oh, Mikko Rantanen did have a great hit. It was at the end of regulation in the 3rd period. There's 2-3 seconds left. He gets the puck. Guy comes in. Mikko goes for the back check. The guy ends up grabbing his face. He thinks he gets elbowed. You go look at the replay. No elbow in sight. He just back checked him. Mikko Rantanen's just taller than the guy and got him in the face a little bit. And Wild were kind of pissed off about that because it's the end of regulation. There's 2-3 seconds left, maybe. So good hitting, 25 hits to 21, I believe, with the Wild. I think they played really well last night. Obviously, it goes to overtime. Tyler Seguin gets the game winner. I thought Jake Ottinger looked pretty good. I don't think he was exactly all the way there yet. I think there was a few moments where I was like, ooh, not great. But then there was other moments with Jake where he makes the outstanding cross-crease last-second diving save, and you had a lot of really good stuff from Jake. I thought he was probably close to midseason form, as you can be. He played the entire game, which I was surprised by because you saw Jake and then Ben Cross as the 2 goalies for this game. I thought, all right, Jake gets a period, and then Cross comes in for periods 2 and 3. And then Jake came in for 2nd period, and I was like, all right, so he's getting 2 periods today. That's good. Extra work. Get him ready. Get him primed. And then Jake came out for the 3rd. I was like, I guess we're just doing this the whole way. So interesting game. It wasn't a lively game in any way, shape, or form, but I thought your top guys looked really, really, really good. Matthew Shane looked pretty good. He's doing his spins and all of the cycles and the offensive zone. Tyler Seguin probably looks the best he's looked since 2020. And he looked really good at the start of last season, even though he was hurt with the hip injury. He goes on LTIR after game 21, I believe. Tyler Seguin looked really, really, really good. Had a lot of quality scoring chances. He almost scored like right off the rip on the first possession in the first period. Miro's stick work is also incredible, just impeccable stick work as per usual. Esa Lindell, shutdown guy, also looked really good. The Thomas Harley-Nils Lundqvist pairing is interesting. I'm curious to see how that one works out with Nils and Thomas looking like offensive aggressors and as defenders, and who's going to sit back, who's going to take the rush. I'm just curious to see how that works out. You didn't have any problems really last night, so we'll see how that goes. But first preseason game where a lot of the top guys were playing, he's got to see a lot of the stars, I guess. They look good. I think they're going to be just fine. You still got a number of preseason games left. You got one more home preseason game in October, and then it's on to the regular season against the Winnipeg Jets, Colorado Avalanche on the road before you play the Minnesota Wild at home at 8:30 on ESPN. It's an 8:30 start for home opener. Bad business by the NHL putting a Central Standard Time game at 8:30, which is probably going to be an 8:50 puck drop on a Tuesday night. That's tough. That's really bad by the NHL. But preseason game number 2, the Stars are undefeated. 2 back-to-back overtime game winners for the Stars in the preseason. We'll see how the rest of the preseason shakes out, but that was a solo pod for me, just talking about my experience in the press box last night. Had a lot of fun. Good to see the rest of the media crew. Good to see the players again at morning skate and after the game. I'm excited to get into this season. But that was preseason game number 2. Stars win 3-2 in overtime on a Tyler Seguin game winner. This has been Clean Sheet of Ice at Texas Hockey Podcast. We'll be back with another episode very soon.